An Iowa startup that sidesteps credit cards lands millions in venture capital.
Hi, I'm Ben Milne, and I'm the CEO of Dwolla.
This is News on Main, your connection to small business. Described as a social payment network, Dwolla is a service that moves money between merchants and consumers. Founder Ben Milne says that unlike credit cards and other payment services like PayPal, which can charge fees and even percentages on sales, Dwolla transactions cost just a quarter.
It doesn't make sense inside of the current ecosystem that as money moves, it becomes less valuable, so it just keeps recirculating through the same system. Eventually, it's not worth anything. We want transactions to be as valuable as humanly possible as money is exchanged.
Ben came up with the idea for Dwolla after he realized credit card fees were costing him about $55,000 a year at his first company, online speaker retailer Elemental Designs.
We just started thinking, okay, well, how can we get money from point A to point B without this system? And then once we realized that if we could draw it on paper, we could pitch it, we went to a bank and put it on a whiteboard and gave it a shot. And thankfully they said yes, and it wasn't long before we started moving money.
And Ben's no stranger to taking risks. At just 18 years of age, he turned his love of music into a $1 million speaker business.
I was a kid. We took $1,200 and somehow we ended up with $1 million in revenue in like 3 or 4 years. Then once we got $1 million, it was like, what the hell do we do with this?
Ben sold Elemental Designs and launched Dwolla in 2009. He says the biggest challenges so far have been navigating all of the regulations.
It took us a full year to figure out how to legally do it. And it involved bringing in very specific investors who made a very atypical investment in our company and have taken a very active role in it as well.
Today, Dwolla moves tens of millions per month, and while media headlines paint Dwolla as a credit card killer, Ben says they've gotten positive reaction from credit card companies.
So the way you pay off a credit card at the end of the day is with your bank account. So if there's a system that makes that process safer, cheaper, and faster, then that actually has value for credit card companies and banks just the same.
Dwolla just announced they've secured $5 million from Union Square Ventures, who've invested in companies such as Twitter and Foursquare.
Dwolla is really focused on how do we kind of build a company into $1 billion payment network, and as soon as that happens, it becomes how do we get to 2 and how do we get to 3, and then how do we start structuring the company to kind of start growing internationally.
And that's your News on Main, your connection to small business. Thanks for watching.